Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Random Talk with Angie, and I hope it's not too late to wish you a happy new month. Welcome to one of the best months in the year. So, last week on Random Talk with Angie, I had a guest speaker, Oghosa, come on the show to talk about building self esteem from within. We began with sharing our experiences on what hit our self-esteem the most, and then on today's episode of Random Talk with Angie, we're just going to conclude, and we're also going to talk a bit about therapy.
So, are there any myths or misconceptions about self esteem you think you want to debunk?
Yes, thank you for that. I think the major one, or the first one that I want to address, is the whole issue of pride. Right? Self-esteem doesn't mean you are proud. Self-esteem just means have a clear understanding of who you are, right? And that understanding is not shifted by the things that happen around you or the words of others. Now, it can come off as being arrogant to others depending on how it is expressed. And I do recognize that some people take it to an extreme, and so they are not now able to be corrected. They don't listen to anybody else. That's not what we're discussing. We're talking about an assurance or a good understanding of who you are. So I want to first of all establish clearly that that is not pride. That is not pride. Because if we do not separate those two issues, we accept a beaten down look, outlook or disposition about ourselves. That should not be right. Um, so it's a balance. I will say of that understanding, but still being able to listen to others. Because yes, even if you have a good understanding of yourself, there are some things you cannot see about yourself that only others can tell you. So in having that clear understanding of who you are, still being able to listen to others matters. That's the first myth that I want to debunk. That self-esteem equals pride. Right now, the second one is closely related, and I already began to speak about that. That self-esteem means you cannot listen to others. That is also a myth that is not correct. I can have a good self-esteem and also be able to listen, and also I'm able to listen to other people. The only uh, twist on that is that depending on what the other person is saying and how they are saying it, I filter it, right? I don't just swallow it hook, line, and sinker, but I filter it to see, okay, is there any value in what this person is saying? Is this person saying something I haven't talked about concerning myself before? Is this person showing me things about myself that I didn't know, I didn't realize? Is this feedback something I can use to better myself? Maybe showing me an area of weakness that I didn't know I had. Can I take what this person is saying and use it to improve myself? Or is it just a negative thing to run me down? So I filter based on my understanding of myself, but I don't dismiss it outright. I listen, filter, and pick the part that can be used to improve my. So that's the second myth that I want to address as well. Self-esteem doesn't mean you can't listen to other people. Okay, then maybe the third one, which we kind of already we touched on earlier a little bit, is that who I am is who I am. My upbringing has defined me. My experiences, my circumstances have defined who I am, and I cannot be anybody else. My image of myself is limited to my experiences, my background, my upbringing. That also is a myth, right? And that is particularly important if we have trauma in our background, right? If we have wounds or scars or hurt from when we were growing up, or from our experiences, even recent experience, we do not necessarily need to define ourselves entirely by those wounds, by that trauma. We can deal with those things, we can process those things and still find ourselves apart from those negative experiences. Since you said we'll touch more on that later, I will leave it at that for now. So those would be the three key things I would like to just address.
Yeah, yeah, very, very spot on. Uh, you know, there's one that I also wanted to talk about, which is people saying if you love yourself, you'll never feel insecure, which I don't think is right because sometimes even people with strong self esteem seem to have their own moments of doubt. The difference is they don't let it define them or derail their sense of worth. Then I've also heard people say that you either have self esteem or you don't.
Mm,
And for me, I think that self-esteem isn't fixed.
Mm.
It's something that you build, you rebuild, and you nurture over time through habits, choices, and mindset shifts. And I think it is related to the point where you talked about this is who I am. I
Yeah.
don't necessarily think that you have to remain that way. You have to unlearn, relearn, and then keep learning continuously. I mean, learning is continuous because no man is an island. So yes. Then
Okay.
still talking about, building self-esteem. So what are some fun, creative ways to build self-esteem? What do you think?
Well, I think the most fun would be trying, new thing. All right. There's nothing like succeeding at something that you didn't know. I think it's one of the coolest experience that I can think of. All right. For example, picking up a new instrument. And finding that you have a flair for it and that you can actually do well. Or for some others, it could even be teaching. That teaching one is debatable, but I have found people who enjoy and have a flair for it. And I mean, seeing such people in their element is really, really cool. And like I said, nothing really beats that feeling of succeeding at something that you never thought. So that would be one of the strongest or coolest ways that I think one can view self-esteem. Maybe another way would be having a good circle. Now, is that it could be fun depending on how it is approached. Hanging out with people who do not tear you down. Right? I think also help build your self-esteem, and that is even more effortless as it were, depending on who your friends are. Sharing your victories, sharing your struggles, and building each other up as a friend group or even two friends, I think would be really fun as well and easy. Those would be the two major ways that I see or that I can think of at the moment.
Yeah, that's so nice. And then the part where you talked about, rehashing your achievements and all, there was something I saw one time, and they said create a hype file where you are able to, keep a digital or physical folder of compliments, messages, kind messages, achievements and wins, big or small, so that on low days you scroll through and you remind yourself how awesome you are. And I think I have a hype file. I think I do.
You think?
I know I do. And interestingly, I have not compiled everything, but sometimes I get some messages from my friends and I just start the messages, right?
Oh.
And then when I feel so down, I'll just go and look for the person, check the start messages, and just try to be happy.
Yeah, I like that hype file. I'll have to build one of
You,
it.
please make cannot talk. But yes, I think that hype file is so nice because, and then sometimes when you go through those messages, you see that, there are things that you have achieved, which to you may not be achievement, but people look at them and they are really happy about how far you've come. Then I also saw another thing. I mean, this we're discussing the fun, creative ways, right? And there's this mirror pep talk. You just stand in front of the mirror
Mm.
and you're giving yourself some, aspire to perspire, or you're talking to yourself in the mirror like you would talk to a best friend. I mean, you're your own best friend. So
Yeah.
that can also be a fun, creative way. And you're checking yourself out. Oh, you could also dress up for no reason.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. I completely agree.
And people will say it's waste of clothes. And you can just dress up and feel yourself. I mean, it's your space, it's yourself. I mean, just to feel good about yourself. And when you're done, we move.
No, I agree. Even the words of affirmation, I think that's also a really that you just.
Yes, yes, it definitely is. Then writing yourself a fan mail. I know people write future mails or future letters to themselves where they want to read it the next time or at some point in their life. And then at some point, when they are feeling down, they just go and check it out
Mm.
to see the letters they wrote when they were feeling down or when they were going through it. So when that phase has passed, they go and check it out to see how far they've achieved or how far they've come. So I think that worked. Then
Yeah, that's just reminding me of the before and after 10-year picture that people were.
yes, I mean I did it too. I also too proud of myself. I have grown. I have grown. Then, the trying fun things thing could also be, you doing one brave thing weekly,
Mm,
one brave or fearless thing, really being adventurous, not reckless now, but
yeah.
really being adventurous. And at the end, finally, I would think curating your environment helps a lot. Surrounding yourself, whether online or offline, with affirming content, the quotes you read, the music, the people, the spaces you find yourself in that have to remind you of your value. Because that's something that is very important. Because what you, as much as people like to disagree, but what you listen to also matters
Yeah.
because it influences you either positively or negatively, depending on which area you find yourself in.
Completely exactly. I have a friend who has a lot of those quotes. I mean, I personally am not a quotable quote guy, but I have a friend who is really into them, and some are actually really really good. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it helps. Then I think that something that helped me as well when I was dealing with the whole ACC thing, it was when I came across a particular podcast. I can't remember the name, but it had to do with self awareness and self esteem. And it was just a very short one, either 10 minutes long or something. And I was just listening to it because I needed to boost myself from the inside to tell myself that you're not that bad. You're not bad at all. You're doing well for yourself. So yes, the books we read, the quotes we read, the things we listen to, not every time playing depressing songs, right? We just have to play and listen to stuff that would lift our spirits.
So I just want to say as well that I really like the point that you raised about self-esteem not being fixed. Because I think I agree that depending on what one is doing, we can be more confident or less confident. But I wanted to say that maybe another approach that we could use that I have found helpful is if in an area of our lives we are not doing as well, and that area of our lives is is bringing us anxiety or depression or whatever, we can take from another area of our lives where we are doing well to boost ourselves, right? For example, if I'm struggling at work, right? But I have other things, maybe I have a hobby that's going really well, or my relationship with my family, whatever. I can pull from there the wins in that area to strengthen my overall confidence and then go again to tackle that area in which I'm struggling. I don't think that we necessarily need to be confident all the time in every area of our life, but we can pull from one area to strengthen another. So I just wanted to add that thought as well.
Yes, that's very apt. That's very apt. So before we talk about the final thoughts that we may have around self-esteem, we'll briefly talk about therapy. Then I have some random rapid fire round questions. You are the first person on my podcast that I'm going to start this with. Rapid fire round questions, right? Away from the topic which you're pretty much going to answer.
Okay.
So I know that you had initially talked about therapy at the beginning, and I find that honestly going to therapy could actually help people build their self-esteem. But in this part of the world, therapy sounds like some abomination to some of us. So what are your thoughts on it?
Okay. So I mean, I don't think the stigma around therapy is warranted, right? I don't think that is something that needs to be there because therapy is a thing that has helped a lot of people and that continues to help a lot of people, all right? It's not a sign of personal failure if I go to therapy. These are professionals who have studied, well, yeah, these are professionals who have studied how to process these things. And a lot of the issues that we have, many times we are not able to fully process them on ourselves, by ourselves rather. So we need someone external to ourselves to help us go through those things. So I think that therapy is a really, really powerful thing if it is explored properly. Now, that being said, I recognize that it's something that needs to be paid for, and depending on where we are at, we may not be able or willing to pay for proper therapy. Now, there are substitutes, not ideal. Of course, a substitute cannot be as good as the original. But there are counselors, depending on what space you are in, that can serve to help process issues that we may have in our past, traumatic experiences that will help us deal and heal from those experiences. I mean, I'm not a therapist, but
You sound like someone that can do great therapy, Shao.
let me be careful before I offend the prophet. Yeah, but I mean, value of it cannot be overemphasized. There's nothing like talking about, like, there's a popular saying that's, a cliche even, that a problem shared is half solved.
Uh-huh.
So imagine sharing your problem with a professional.
Yeah.
Extremely, extremely valuable.
Emphasis on professional.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, that's very true. I have a friend who once told me that because of how crazy his work was at the moment, he found himself going to therapy. And I was really surprised. And then I think he said he had about 3 sessions.
Right.
And I said, wow, you have money. Because those things cost money.
Well, yeah.
But he also mentioned that they were helpful. Those sessions were helpful. It helped him at the time when he was dealing with that particular work situation. So I think it's something that people need to embrace. Then there is also this informal therapy session where you are able to confide in someone who is able to give you good words of counsel, because there are some people that are good at it.
Yeah.
It's not dumping your trauma on them, actually. It's still you using the model of a problem shared is a problem half solved. The only difference is just that they may not be professionals, but some of them are, they've turned counselors over time because of the amount of shege that they've heard people relate to them, and then those people are blessed with wisdom and wise counsel to be able to tell people what they think is the best approach, which always mostly works out for them.
Yeah.
So yes, actually something that people should explore. Again, people should still be careful about who they are sharing their issues with.
Well,
So
maybe just to talk about the cost, right? And yeah, it's a paid service, but for those who may have HMOs, I understand that a number of these HMOs cover therapy. So it is something that is, I think, underutilized, but that can be better explored by people who have HMOs. Not everybody does, I respect that, I understand that, but for those who do, it's a golden opportunity to just take advantage of something you're already paying for and use it, properly.
yeah, that's very, very true. That's very, very true. So yeah, because our HMOs these days, it goes beyond just the medical aspects.
Exactly.
Covers the exercise part and then even the mental part, because mental health is now a thing. So yeah, thank you for sharing your thoughts on therapy. So for I hope you're ready for our rapid fire round. So first things first, what compliment do you love receiving?
Ah, I think I love receiving compliments around my hair. Is something I just discovered recently. I mentioned I was vain, so yeah.
Yes, I win. In all fairness, the hair, yes. You have really nice hair. So yes, 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 I agree. So one thing you love about yourself today.
I think my questioning mind, yeah, I think I really like it. Helps me see things from different perspectives. It could be pretty annoying, depending on
Who you are questioning.
yeah, but I think I got that from my dad.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I think that the fact that you love the fact that you have a questioning mind. It helps you in that your line of work. I hope you agree.
I agree.
So, what is something you're working on loving more about yourself?
I don't know. I can't think of any. That means I just failed the self care test.
No, 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 it's a work in progress. It can be a work in progress.
Know more about myself. Yeah, I mean there are a number of things I'm looking to improve around myself.
Okay.
I think the major one would be relationships. I can be yeah, I can be unfortunate in that area, but yeah, I think that's just making more deliberate effort to keep in touch with family, friends.
All I can say is may God help you.
Amen. Please, no judgment. We listen, we don't judge. Please.
I'm not judging. I'm just listening.
I can sense the judgment from here.
But yeah, that's just fine. So help me finish this sentence. A person with solid self-esteem walks into a room and
Makes eye contact with everybody in the room.
ha, that's a very difficult thing to do, Sha.
Yeah, but I mean, it doesn't need to be prolonged. Yeah, you can't walk into a room and be, avoiding everybody's gaze.
You can just, look above their heads, look over their heads, and then keep it going, and they would pretty much think you're looking at them. But yeah,
Or you can look at them.
why will I look at them? Don't worry, don't worry. I know what to do. But yes, thank you, thank you. Let me save you the rest of the rapid fire round questions. I'll save you the rest of the rapid fire round questions. Don't worry, I'll behave. Let me behave.
Oh, thanks.
And so, what's one message you would give to anyone that is struggling with self-esteem right now?
You are not failing in every area of your life. Even though depending on what is going on, it may look that way. But I think really focusing on an area that is going well can be the key to coming out of that low self-esteem. And I go back to the example I gave of the SCA exam that I was really struggling with. Luckily for me at that time, I was doing okay. I was doing well at my job, my 9 to 5, in terms of technical skills and all of that. Being able to speak to issues, hold proper conversation. So that now became, in addition to the other things I mentioned, that became a source of strength as well to pull me out of the tendency to think that, man, I'm an imposter, imposter syndrome. I should not be here because I'm worthless academically and all of that. So depending on what area is causing your low self-esteem, a way to come out of it could be a strength or a victory, a win from another area. Now, conversely, if it is a deep-seated issue from your past or your experiences, please and please speak to a professional. Even if other people are, you're worried so much about what people say. At the end of the day, like they say, in life is per head. Right? I said pigeon in normal English, but yeah. So
Give me the pidgin version. Give it to us.
okay, life now per head.
Okay.
So you thought I could not speak pigeon. I forgive you.
Who knows? Who knows?
But yeah, so in as much as yes, it's good to get approval from others, at the end of the day, you cannot, in a bid to seek that approval, sacrifice your well-being. So if it is a serious issue, or even if it's not serious, quote unquote, if you feel you need therapy, please and please seek therapy and process those issues and come out of that place of low self-esteem. So I think those would be the two key things.
Thank you. Thank you so much, OG, for agreeing to come on my podcast to talk about self-esteem.
My pleasure.
I'm truly grateful for the insights that you've had to share and how you passionately shared your thoughts on those insights around self-esteem and even the mini conversation on therapy. I just want to say thank you.
It was a pleasure. It was really fun. Thank you. Like I said, I'm a fan. So
thank you very much.
And that's a wrap on today's episode of Random Talk with NG. If you've been struggling with your self-esteem, I hope this reminded you that it's an inside job and you're worth every bit of the effort. Huge thanks to Oghosa for sharing so openly and helping us laugh and learn at the same time. Don't forget to rate, review, and share this episode with someone who needs a little self-love boost. Until next time, please stay kind to your mind, and as always, keep it random, but with purpose.